You're watching this video right now because there's something in the back of your mind eating away at you. A task you know you need to do, but every time you think about it, your brain finds 1,000 excuses to do something else. If you give me exactly 14 minutes or however long this video is, I'll teach you how to destroy procrastination forever. And look, I'm not talking about another lame self-help technique you'll try for a week and then abandon. I'm talking about a complete reprogramming of your nervous system. A change so profound that you'll leave here with a completely different approach to the difficult tasks in your life. I know exactly how that feels. You think you're lazy, weak, and undisciplined. But get ready to discover a mind-blowing truth. Procrastination has nothing to do with willpower. It's about a system in your brain that's completely out of whack. And if you give me your full attention right now, no pausing, no checking your phone, no doing anything else, I guarantee you'll leave here knowing how to change these neurological patterns once and for all. But before we get to the video, I ask that you subscribe to the channel, like the video to help the channel reach more people, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future content. Now, back to the video. Chapter 1. Destroying the biggest lie. Let me start by destroying the biggest lie you tell yourself every day. I procrastinate because I'm lazy. Absolutely false. Procrastination isn't laziness. In fact, it's more like a specific type of disguised fear that's sabotaging your life without you even realizing it. I'm going to explain exactly what happens in your brain when you avoid an important task, because understanding this will change your life forever. There's a tiny region in your brain called the amygdala. It's the size of a walnut, but it controls virtually everything you do or don't do. This region has been programmed by millions of years of evolution with a single mission: to detect threats and keep you alive. But here's the problem. Your amygdala is stupid. It can't distinguish between facing a hungry lion on the African savanna or having to meet your targets at work. To it, both represent the same level of mortal danger. When you think about that presentation you need to prepare, that project that's 3 weeks late, or that difficult conversation you need to have with your boss, this primitive region of your brain triggers a deafening alarm. Danger! Run now, or you will die. And then your prefrontal cortex, the most evolved and rational part of your brain, which should be your ally, becomes your worst enemy. It blindly obeys the amygdala's alarm and begins creating the most elaborate and convincing excuses you've ever heard. I don't have enough time to do this properly right now. I need to do more research before I start. I'll do it when I'm more inspired. Today isn't the ideal day. I'll leave it for tomorrow. According to a study conducted by researchers at the University of Rochester, these excuses that seem so logical and rational aren't actually rational thoughts. They're rationalizations created to justify a decision your amygdala made long ago: to run away. A neuroscientist with over 20 years of experience in human behavior explains, your primitive brain has only one mission: to keep you breathing. And for it, anything that is uncertain, uncomfortable, or that could cause any kind of pain is interpreted as a threat to its survival. So it activates your automatic escape mechanism. When you avoid starting that important project, it's not because you don't want to succeed. It's because a primitive part of your brain is whispering poison in your ear. What if you fail miserably? What if you discover you're not as smart as you thought? What if everyone realizes you're a fraud? Better not even try. At least that way you won't be disappointed. This is the first revolutionary point you need to understand. Procrastination is a misconfigured defense mechanism. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's genuinely trying to protect you from the possibility of failure, judgment, or discomfort. But here's the part no one tells you. And it will completely change how you deal with this. There's a scientifically proven way to reprogram this procrastination system. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how. Chapter 2. The dopamine secret nobody knows about. To hack your procrastination system, you need to understand the neurobiology behind it all. And that means talking about dopamine in a way no one has probably ever explained to you before. Everyone talks about dopamine as if it were just the pleasure chemical. This is completely wrong. Dopamine isn't about pleasure, it's about driven motivation. It's literally the neurological fuel that keeps you going after a goal, even when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to give up. There are two completely different dopamine systems operating in your brain. Understanding the difference between them will explain why you can binge watch a series for 8 hours straight, but can't study for 30 minutes. System 1. Phasic dopamine. These are explosive, addictive peaks that make you act impulsively. It's what happens when you click on that random video when you should be working. It's what makes you scroll through Instagram for hours. It's what makes you break your diet, drink alcohol, and make unnecessary purchases. System 2. Tonic dopamine. It's the constant, sustained flow that keeps you focused on a task from start to finish. It's this dopamine that makes you pick up a 400-page book and read it to the end. It's what allows you to sit still, maintain attention and motivation, without 1,000 other interesting things distracting you. Here's the problem with chronic procrastinators. Phasic dopamine completely hijacks tonic dopamine. It's like having a garden hose constantly pumping out motivation for your important tasks, but someone keeps turning it off to use it for other, more interesting, immediate tasks. A Stanford University researcher who has been studying neuroplasticity for over a decade explains, the modern brain is constantly bombarded with stimuli that are designed to hijack our reward system. Social media, games, videos, notifications, they're all optimized to generate phasic dopamine spikes. And here's the scary part. Every time you give in to these urges, you're literally reprogramming your brain to prefer instant gratification over focused, productive work. Chapter 3. Naming your fears. I want you to stop for a second and think about that task you're avoiding. Now answer honestly. What's the fear behind it? Afraid of not being good enough? Afraid of discovering you're not as smart as you thought? Afraid of starting and not being able to finish? Or fear of being judged by others? Name your fear and write it down. And here's the thing. When you write by hand, you activate a different part of the brain, the motor cortex, in connection with the limbic system. This takes the fear out of the abstract and turns it into something concrete you can face. Unnamed fears are like giant shadows on the wall, keeping you constantly alert. But when you externalize this fear, you transfer the irrational and emotional processing to your logical and rational prefrontal cortex. Naming your fear is the first step to breaking procrastination. Chapter 4. The fear of inaction. Now I'm going to teach you something counterintuitive. How to be afraid of the right thing. Most people are afraid of action. I will teach you to be afraid of inaction. Close your eyes and visualize this with me. 6 months from now, you still haven't done anything about what you're avoiding today. How do you feel? What opportunities have you missed? What version of yourself have you let die? Now fast forward 3 years. Same procrastination, same fears. How is your life? This visualization isn't meant to torture you, but to reconfigure your decision-making. The biggest risk isn't trying and failing. It's never trying and forever wondering, what if? Your brain avoids the immediate pain of getting started, but ignores the gigantic long-term pain. Regret. When you learn to fear inaction more than action, something powerful happens. Procrastinating becomes more painful than taking action. Chapter 5. The dopamine game. Your brain is guided by a few dopaminergic pathways. These pathways control your motivation to perform rewarding tasks. The problem is, the world is full of distractions that hijack your dopamine. That's why you need a strategy. Organize your life like this. One task at a time. Write down just one difficult thing you need to do today. Your brain can't release tonic dopamine for multiple goals at once. Set artificial deadlines. If you think you need 4 hours, give yourself 3. Controlled pressure increases your efficiency. Choose your reward before you begin. Something you truly want, but that you can only receive after completing the task. Remove distractions. Put your phone in another room, close tabs, and turn off notifications. And remember, the reward has to be intentional, not automatic. Netflix isn't a reward if you already watch it out of habit. Social media isn't a reward if you open it out of boredom. Turn fun into a reward earned. This way, the task becomes more engaging and the pleasure of the reward more intense. But be careful, there is a hidden enemy that can sabotage this entire system: perfectionism. Chapter 6. The Hidden Enemy. Perfectionism. Many people think perfectionists are productive. Perfectionism disguises itself as logic. I won't start now because I have an appointment in 2 hours. I need to be inspired to do a good job. The environment isn't perfect. It's not the right time. These thoughts are traps. The truth is, there's no perfect time. Only the moment you decide to start. Use the imperfect minutes rule. Commit to doing 2 minutes of poor work, without pressure to perform, without expectations of results. Just do it. Why does it work? Because the biggest obstacle isn't doing it well, it's getting started. Once you break the inertia, continuing becomes much easier. Your brain can't use perfectionist excuses against something you've already accepted will be imperfect. Chapter 7. The Power of Environment. You are not stronger than your environment. If your desk is full of distractions, if your room is messy, if your phone vibrates every minute, you've already lost the battle before it even begins. Procrastination is often just a reflection of the environment you've placed yourself in. Want to change your behavior? Change the scenery. Create a space for action. Clean. Minimalist. Without excess. Make the task inevitable. If you need to write, leave your notebook or computer open on the right screen. Reduce friction for what you want to do, and increase friction for what you want to avoid. Keep your phone out of reach. Install website blockers. Hide distracting shortcuts. Your brain follows the path of least resistance. If you create an environment that facilitates action and hinders escape, procrastination loses its power. Chapter 8. The Rule of Clarity. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's often confusion. You don't start because you don't know exactly as begin. The task seems like a gigantic, amorphous monster. The antidote? Clarity. Take the task and break it down into such small chunks that it becomes ridiculous. Not write a book, but open the document and write the title. Not organize the entire house, but fold 3 shirts. This technique activates the Zeigarnik effect. Your mind hates unfinished tasks. If you start, even small ones, your brain creates an internal tension that pushes you to continue until you finish. Don't wait for clarity to emerge on its own. Build clarity by breaking the big into tiny fragments. Chapter 9. The Energy Cycle. Have you ever noticed that you procrastinate more when you're tired? Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's energy. When energy levels are low, it naturally seeks out less strenuous activities. Therefore, energy is not a luxury, it is a strategy. Sleep well. There is no technique that can compensate for bad nights. Get moving. Exercise increases blood flow and mental clarity. Eat smart. Don't live on sugar and caffeine spikes. Respect your cycles. Identify whether you are more productive in the morning, afternoon, or evening, and organize the most difficult tasks during this period. If you don't manage your energy, it doesn't matter how many productivity techniques you learn. Your body will always trump your exhausted mind. Chapter 10. The Contract with Yourself. Procrastination is strengthened by a lack of commitment. You say, "I'll do it one day." But one day is never today. Create contracts with yourself. It can be simple. Write the task down on a piece of paper, sign it, and make it visible. Or more intense, tell someone, admit it publicly. Create real consequences for not taking action. Commitment transforms intention into obligation, and when you put yourself in a position to honor your word, your identity begins to shift. You go from being someone who procrastinates to someone who delivers. Chapter 11. The Warrior's Identity. In the end, overcoming procrastination isn't about tricks or shortcuts. It's about who you decide to be. Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai, didn't wait for motivation to strike. He acted because action was his identity. You don't have to be a samurai, but you have to take on your daily battle. Every time you act despite fear, despite doubt, despite the urge to postpone, you strengthen the warrior identity within you. And little by little, procrastination stops being a habit and becomes just a distant memory. If you've watched this video this far, I'm very grateful for your time. I also invite you to watch this video that's appearing on your screen. I'm sure you'll find valuable lessons. Be present, walk with honor, follow the path.